All right, guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV live. Should I do the live?
Go ahead. I've already ran it
live. This is an unexpected live stream. We actually were going to do a pre-recorded video, but I think given the earnings call, I think it's better to go live.
Given the time it would take you to edit.
Yeah, because this thing could go on for a while.
We couldn't do it sooner because family stuff. You know, we had to eat and things.
So I'm just going to start getting into it. Those of you who... Oh, hello, Jurassic Toys. So people are getting notifications. That's good. Make sure you hit that bell. So when we do go live, we don't go live very often, and we don't really have a set time. So there we go. Look, people are coming in. All right. Awesome. Yeah. Wow, we got lots of people in. So yeah, this is our kind of our takeaway from the Q2 earnings call, Disney earnings call, and my God, this is bad. This is really bad.
They keep spinning it like there's a lot of bad news, but it's okay because we're Disney and our brand means more and is more important than all the bad news. That is literally what they kept doing.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over this. We've got Disney fan blogs out there that are all sunshine and kittens. They think that it was a good call. No. Disney answered nothing.
No, they did get us some information about the parks, which basically is we don't know.
We don't know. So that is their information. Yeah, Disney answered nothing. Nothing. Everybody kept asking some variation of when are the theme parks going to open, and Disney kept...
what about the money?
And what about the money? Where's the money going to come from? Well, we're positive that Disney has a bright future, and in the future, we'll make money.
Yeah, basically. That was what
by the way, you're not getting your dividends this year either,
for
guys.
6 months. They're going to talk about it again in 6 months.
6 months, we'll talk. So that sent the stock plummeting. God, what I can't imagine being a cast member. I feel bad for cast members. You don't know when you're going to go back to work.
Yeah.
You have no idea. They're not even giving a rough idea because they don't know.
They don't. That was the answer.
Tug Ray.
They don't know.
Oh, Tug sent people over.
Oh, well, tell them they said hello.
Thank you, Tug.
Sorry about my screaming earlier. I was very mad. If you didn't see that video, turn your volume down.
Yeah.
I was pretty upset.
Oh well, tell Tug we said hello and thank you for that. So yeah, so we watched the earnings call. We listened to it live. As you've got your Bun Solo.
I do. I'm holding on to my Bun Solo for support today because it's one of those days where I just need an extra hug. Yeah. So because I'm actually a really nice person in reality, and I actually am very nice to people. I just got really, really pissed, and I feel like I blacked out like in A Christmas Story, like when he was beating the crap out of that kid that bullied him.
So you're Ralphie?
I feel like I was Ralphie, and I was beating the shit out of the bully, and then I come out of it like, what did I say? What did I do? Because when you played it back later, I was like, that was me, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, again, thank you, Tug. So yeah, this was the most Disney earnings call I think I've ever listened to. Now, the investors weren't as salty as they were last time because now they've got an excuse for everything, which is COVID-19.
Unprecedented.
They reminded you. I swear to God.
Made that a drinking game.
I swear to God, the one executive.
Oh, Neurotic sent them over too, apparently.
Oh, Neurotic, awesome. The one executive, Christine, I forget her name off the top of my head, but every other sentence was this unprecedented crisis.
Unprecedented. Yes, we know it's unprecedented.
Times. Let's remind you, this is not our fault, everybody. We're going to blame everything. Everything on the virus. Thank you, oh my God, you guys are throwing money at us already. Don't have to do that. Thank you. XYZ Rob Zombie, thank you. Geeky, I love your rants. Don't apologize. You be the Wonder Redhead you are. She is. Also, Neon, you're doing a great job. I'm trying.
He's trying.
John Krupp, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Angry Geeky is my favorite.
Well, yeah, you don't have to live with me. So, I actually, for reality, I do. How often do I get that mad?
Not that mad.
No.
So, but she gets
that diplomatic. That mad.
She gets a little angry at me because I tend to not listen. Sometimes it's not intentional. I just blame old age.
He just blocks me out.
And sometimes I just, yeah.
All you husbands out there know what I'm talking about.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
so let's get to I would mow the lawn. You keep taking the job from me.
That is my man job. The lawn and the garbage are my man jobs.
You can have the garbage. I like doing the lawn. So anyway. Okay, so we're getting to the point of what this whole thing's about.
Sorry, Jose. Thank you. Didn't have to do that. Damn Disney stock drop like the Hindenburg. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Thank you, Esme. You didn't have to do that. Geeky and Neon, you guys are missed. Banana stand money. Thank you. Bat Goat, thank you. Keep the rants coming.
Well, they just keep making it so easy.
Kevin, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Don't pretend is a fellow angry redhead, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm just speaking out for all the people who keep getting treated like shit and all the marginalized people who keep getting used as shields, because all of us are fed up. But anyway, speaking of Disney and being fed up, so let's go back to the earnings call. So yeah, it was a lot of talking in circles and positivity. Everything was spun in a positive light.
That's the
Questions
Disney way.
Weren't answered.
That was a Disney way too.
And I can sum it all up with they don't know. It's pretty much when's the parks opening? We know Shanghai is opening on May 11th, which I heard earlier today in an article was probably they thought was close to the 18th, but it's the 11th, and they're basically going to test their procedures out at Shanghai.
Yeah, that's okay. So that's Shanghai. Shanghai is several months ahead of where we are, and Shanghai it's easier to contain because I think they just had the one park.
Yeah, I think so.
They have the Disneyland. They have like 2 hotels or something like that. But it's gonna be a lot easier to contain than over here, where you've got especially Disney World. You've got 4 parks and 50 gajillion hotels and all of that. Chris, thank you. Didn't have to do that. J. Chris 12,000. You guys deserve it. Thank you. Gelf Walker did not have to do that. Geeky, how much for you to do a rant with Nick Rekieta and melt my phone in sheer pleasurable out ends. Keep up the great work and rants. There would need to be some whiskey involved in that.
Yeah, I wasn't even drinking on that one.
She wasn't.
I would have probably been more mellow if I was.
Yeah, you guys actually got notifications.
I was so mad, guys. So I read that sentence. I just everything went black and red, and then I was like, oh hell no.
Freaking love ferrets. We used to have a ferret.
I love ferrets. His name was Mai Tai. Yeah. I found out later what that meant, but I didn't care. He still was Mai Tai. Anyway,
he was a good boy.
He was a good boy. So they had the call, and the questions that were asked, of course, over and over again. When are the parks going to open? They don't know.
They don't know.
I want to go back to the other article that we were talking about. People asked if I had seen it. That WDW Pro had put up earlier today, and I still say WDW Pro is one to listen to. I sent you his actual link to his thing because not all of it was there.
Oh,
you don't have it pulled up?
I don't have it pulled up.
Okay, never mind then. I did send it to you. But they were asking about what's going to happen ahead of the earnings call, and he talked about some other things. But as in regards... What?
No, nothing.
In regards to the parks, here's what the rumors they were hearing. They were hearing that Disney was supposed to be talking about Walt Disney World opening in August for the Magic Kingdom, but there's some issues because they're testing out to see how well masks work. And apparently, they have found that the number of the chance of transmission from mask to mask is 1.5%. But that means like 1 in 75 chance of getting it. But when you're at all these places, all these people, that chance goes up exponentially. So if one person sneaks through that's sick and that isn't showing a temperature yet, it can infect a whole shitload of people.
Yep.
So there's that, and then there's the fact that kids aren't going to keep their damn masks on. They're not going to.
Oh my God, they're licking the doorknobs and the poles and everything.
Yes, and then the fact that in July and August, it's incredibly hot and humid in Florida. I would say even into like September and October. Those masks, if you're wearing those masks, like he said, in a 98-degree day, and you can't go inside where the air conditioning is because they have it closed off, people are going to be falling over. Go ahead, read those, and I'll go back.
Okay, so we're
gonna. You're not gonna alarm because I keep talking.
No, that's okay. I didn't expect you guys to be this. Okay, Sarah Johnson, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Disneyland to die angry fellow redhead. Here,
woo, we got redheads unite.
Eric says, "Thank you." Disney must love shooting themselves in the foot. By the way, you guys are awesome.
I think they do love shooting themselves in the foot. I can't make heads or tails of it otherwise.
Yeah, Ivan, thank you very much. I get more scared when Neon loses his.
Yeah, you should be. He's the scarier of the two of us. I will yell and rant, but if you want to fear someone, you should fear him, not me. So,
I am the Phantom Menace.
I am actually very, very, very nice. And
I'm worse.
I will lose it, but I cool down quick. He's like scary.
I let it simmer for decades. Servant of God, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I saw Disney was going to die this year. Not how bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Oh boy, I don't want to lose anybody. Okay. KLVSD, thank you. Thanks for your hard work. Well, thank you very much for the shout out. Robbie. Thank you. Keep up the great info, rants, and valuable entertainment.
Someone asked about Headland. They never even mentioned Star Wars, or
they told them not to.
They brought up Disney Plus repeatedly because that was the only thing they have making money. But they never mentioned Star Wars like that, other than the fact they were talking about their $7 billion movies last year and Star Wars being one of them. They never brought it up. No one asked. It was never brought up.
It never came up. They probably told them you're not allowed to, talking points. It's always investors from like the big hedge funds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Flemmy, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Solution is Disneyland and home office. Yeah, that would be fun. Just go watch ride-through videos and
that's what people are doing now anyway.
Rock back and forth in your chair. What do you call a redhead with attitude? Normal. Did I get everybody?
Much.
Did I get everybody?
Okay. So
I got everybody.
We're going to try to keep reading stuff, but I'm trying to cover this stuff at the same time. So we're doing our best. So that was Walt Disney World. So they were saying August is when they were thinking, but the chance of that could be, you know, going down, you know, more and more as they're finding out masks could be dangerous.
Right.
Disneyland, and this is interesting because we heard similar things. The problem with Disneyland is it might open the next year or at the end of this year at the earliest because they're not running the rides. They're not maintaining the rides. Apparently they now have a rat problem.
We know this for a fact.
And they have, and they said that the birds keep pooping all over the sidewalks and the buildings and they need cleaned and everything's a mess at Disneyland.
It's covered in shit.
Supposedly, according to WDW Pro. Now, this could kind of, you know, we've been hearing similar information, but we also heard that I know for a fact at Walt Disney World, they have wild animals coming in over there too. So, and they got, you know, they've
lions and tigers and bears on.
Yeah, so the wild animals, of course, are coming in. We see it. You see it with all these pictures like Venice and stuff, where there's animals swimming through the canals and animals wandering the streets in different places. Of course, they're moving in when the people aren't there.
That would be kind of awesome.
That's like the new Animal Kingdom attraction.
That is just Magic Kingdom becomes Animal Kingdom.
That's right.
Silver Phantom, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Disney's eating themselves with Star Wars, eventually Marvel. Yeah, somebody asked specifically when they're gonna start making new Marvel movies. They did not have an answer for anything.
They won't answer things.
You guys are amazing. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Also, keep the honest rant.
We'll try.
Sarah Johnson gave us a salt shaker.
Yeah, because we're
shaky,
salty.
Shaky, very salty. We're always very salty over here.
Here's you need. Oh, some people's stuff are getting hidden. I don't even know why.
Why are you being hidden? I don't know.
Ride with Rats for free.
Shitneyland. Shitneyland. That's what's that one show with the turds? Turdy World.
Oh, did you guys see that? We'll talk about that in a minute. There's a show coming to what network was that?
I think True TV.
It was Turdy Work. We'll talk about that later.
Work.
It kind of.
Speaking of shit shows,
it literally is a shit show.
Well, we know for a fact that this is actually happening in Disney World because we have insiders at Disney World who said yes, the animals are overtaking.
But Disneyland, it's worse because they got a rat problem now. They said that cast members have to eat in certain ways to dispose of their food. They got rid of all food because there's a rat problem, and the cats aren't doing enough to take care of it apparently. Because they actually have cats that run around Disneyland. Then they're talking about, you know, the issues when they started up. They don't know if they're going to work because they're not maintaining it. And then there's the whole thing about they said that when they reopen, they might go to non-expiring tickets again. But then Chapek was saying that they would only issue tickets that would be no more than what they could handle.
Yeah.
At least what they were doing that in Shanghai. They were talking about temperature checks and how they could be really time consuming, and they could do 40 to 70,000 temperature checks per day when they reopen. So this is all the stuff that WDW Pro was talking about on WDW Magic.
And I will confirm he's legit. Again, AL's birthday. Happy
birthday! Woo!
Flemmy says, I work at reception. Most people don't wear the mask right. Like they don't. Yeah, we see this. They don't cover the nose or pull it down for comfort. This will not work in Disney World. Yeah, nope. I saw a guy at the grocery store. He had his nose over. He had his nose over the mask. I'm like, dude, that's not how this works. Yeah,
I've seen every place we go to. And what's going on is even if you have a mask and they have a mask, apparently there's still there's a 1.5% chance of cross contamination. And since you're in such close proximity of the parks, you might not get it in this section, but you move this section and somebody's sick, it's 1 in 75. And if you're at 75 different spots, one of those is going to get you. So
yeah, you're going to get gone somehow. Okay, let's see here. We got Daniel J. It's getting really salty right now. This isn't kosher. Thank you so much. Legolas is the best. I want to say keep up the good work and God bless. Oh, you can't say the G word on YouTube.
Really? You can't?
I don't know. There's a lot of things you can't say on YouTube.
God bless, God bless.
There you go. Anyway. So, yeah, it's pretty bad, guys. It's really bad. They did not... Well, one thing, Iger and Chapek sounded like freaking robots.
Yeah, it was like it was pre-recorded or something.
Right out of the gate, they kept reminding investors that Disney's been around for almost 100 years. They're resilient. They'll get through this.
The brand means something.
The brand means more now than it has ever meant to anyone.
That's right. That's what they're saying.
Before ever. Disney's great. It's all fine. It's all fine here. And Bob Chapek sounded like a robot. Wasn't
there a certain level of quality Disney maintained? Yeah, they used to when I was a kid. Yeah. It was way cleaner, way more better maintained. But I think in Disney World's case, they keep expanding so much that it's logistically so hard to keep everything at that level at this point because there's so many parks. Anyway, go ahead.
Tim Scorpion, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Or are they not telling their investors their plans for Marvel because they have no plan like Star Wars?
Probably.
Nobody asked anything about Star Wars.
No, they mentioned it just on the movie. In the movie, they're talking about the movies. They're trying to play that up.
Yeah.
And they didn't. That's the only time they mentioned it.
Yeah, Sarah says, whoa, Sarah, where'd you go? Okay, Sarah says, I can't wear a mask for very long. Yeah, I have a hard time with it, too.
Yeah, I have asthma, too, so I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You feel like you're getting ready to go into the freaking nuclear...
Right. And if you're in Florida with the humidity, which the humidity already makes it hard for me to breathe, and then they're throwing a mask on top of it, and then you can't go usually you can go someplace and cool off, but if they have internal theater, the indoor theaters closed, what are you supposed to do?
Well, that's just it. They don't want to put people in proximity, but in Florida, especially more so than Disneyland, even the queues are indoor and air conditioned, and I don't know how they're going to do this. I mean, there's a pizza joint down the street, and I went to go get some wings, local pizza joint, usually in and out, but because of the distancing, because of the way they have the line set up and the sanitation, 45 minutes from the time I got into the parking lot to the time I got into the building. Mm-hmm. And usually I'm in there in 5 minutes and out.
Right.
And granted, it was a Friday night, but I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, this is what it's going to be like going to a Disney park.
Right. Especially if they have to wipe down ride vehicles in between. Now, they didn't talk too much about what they plan on there. They kept saying, we don't know yet. We don't want to say about the parks opening and their plans, other than what they were talking about for Shanghai, which is like temperature checks. I know they have social distancing markings on the ground and things like that. People have to wear masks. Cast members have to wear masks as well. Costume face, the characters of the costumes. Yeah. They'll be kept at a distance, so they won't be anywhere near people hugging that. You can't be hugging the characters and things.
See Mickey behind glass.
That's right.
Well, that's about the way it is for the castle shows and junk. You never see them. TJ, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I tried to suggest it before, but I was hoping when you reach 100,000, you'd both do a face reveal. We did. And Desperate Housewives became a real life thing.
Really?
We did. Actually, the tail end of our play button video.
There. We put our faces
a couple
up.
seconds.
I put a picture up just yesterday on Twitter.
Yeah, if you follow us on Twitter, our faces have been out there for like 2 years.
Yeah, yesterday I decided to do a 5K for, it was Main Street Bella for May the 4th. It was a Baby Yoda medal. And I did it. The only problem was I have hurt my hip. I do not know how I did it, but like 2 days ago, I hurt my hip really bad. And I'm like limping around, and I still did it anyway. And now it hurts worse to walk today. So I'm having a heck of a time getting up downstairs today. Anyway.
Oh, God, yes, she is. Okay, so, yeah.
I still did it. You can't tell me no.
90% plummet. We're going to get to that. I've got, like, all kinds of notes here from this meeting. Again, Bob Iger, we talked about the future. Geeky doesn't hurt the eyes. No, she doesn't.
Oh, thank you.
She will punch you in the eye, however.
If you call me red. That was only one time. And I was too young to get in trouble.
Okay, so... Yeah, they just go on about Disney Plus being a bright spot. ESPN, that's all fine here because they kept using this term too, pent-up demand.
Pent-up demand?
Pent-up demand.
I'm sorry. Pent-up demand is something else.
That pent-up demand is prostate cancer. Pent-up demand is when you haven't been to a Disney park or a sporting event in several months, and for some reason, Disney seems to think they're going to flip the switch and everybody's just going to dogpile.
It's so funny because what we're hearing from other people that were in and around Disney, they were saying they know when they flip the switch, it's going to take a while to get back open. So that's interesting. There's a definite contradiction. Anyway, go ahead.
Michael Henley, thank you. Did not have to do that. My state just now implemented the mask rule, so I wore my Stormtrooper helmet costume and did get taken down by the cops. Glad I'm not in Canada. That was insane. She's screaming. You can hear her across the street.
She didn't do anything wrong.
Well, I thought some kid got threatened by a cop for having the reason they have the orange tips on the guns now is because
there was an accidental shooting for a kid. Yeah. Someone wanted to know about the parks opening. What basically the answer is we don't know. They don't know. What we do know is that he said that it's gonna be a while because they want to make sure. Same for theatrical releases that there isn't they want to be safe and there's not people infecting each other. And we know that Disney Cruise Lines is going to open up last, and it could be a few years from now. And when asked if they were going to keep their ships on order, he didn't really answer the question. He just said they have to go through all they have a lot of money they have to cut, like $900 million.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Expenditures.
It's a lot.
And they're going to go through the fine-tooth comb. So he didn't really answer the question.
They didn't answer any questions. It was typical Disney. Burley Knoll, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I'm not going anywhere. I don't have to where I need to wear a mask. Good. That you're lucky. We don't try to leave we don't leave the house anymore.
He's saying he's not going to go anywhere where he has to, wear one.
Yeah. Your boy Aaron, thank you. May the 5th be with tacos. We had tacos for lunch.
We did. We got tacos on purpose because it was Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo, and then I revenged the 5th. So we're good.
Well, Cinco de Mayo and Revenge of the 5th could be if your tacos were
bad, but that's a different.
Too
luckily,
spicy.
Ours were okay.
Yeah. So anyway, they are going to go through everything Everything. And they're going to cut. So yeah, people said about Marvel. I think Marvel's done. Ms. Kiriyami, thank you. What do you guys think about the finale of Clone Wars? I actually haven't watched it.
No, I haven't had time to.
I was kind of concerned. Now, people said it was good. I know Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers said it was pretty good, and I know he's a big Clone Wars fan, but I was kind of concerned that they had Ahsoka overlapping Revenge of the Sith, because I'm like, that doesn't even make sense that she's around, but maybe they make it work. I don't know. Daniel, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Don't call Geeky Red. Do not.
No.
Noted. How about Red Velvet Cupcake?
That's not red.
Probably not.
It's like Anna Green Gables, where he kept calling her Carrot and she broke a slate over his head. It's like that.
Joshua, thank you. Disney can just freeze sick guests in carbonite. There you go. You can have your own personal meet and greet with Elsa.
That's right.
You know, that would be great. You know, we're going to freeze your ass. And yeah, anyway. So yeah, they didn't answer anything. And that's what the most aggravating thing is. Disney Cruise Line, everybody's like, it's going to be fine, everybody. They're going to start sailing the cruise ships in a couple months. And
but you kept saying that you thought it'd be the last to open.
No.
And I thought, well, I was hearing they were trying to push for it to be reopened. So I thought whether or not it was smart, they were going to push it open, the government. And then you're like, no, they're not going to open it till last. And that's exactly what they said.
Because who wants to take a cruise now? Did you read the headlines? You know, did you read the freaking headlines? Nobody's going to want to take a cruise anytime soon. You know, and that's going to be the last. And they tried to get them to commit to how much money they actually made off the cruise lines. They wouldn't even do that. They're like, well, we don't break up our divisions into segments. I'm like, I know why you guys do this.
I mean, at least not to report on.
Not to report publicly.
They most likely do on internally.
Know every damn cent that's spent at that company. But they don't do it because they don't want the public to nitpick different divisions of Disney.
Well, there was questions people asked, and they said, well, we don't put that out publicly. And it was like, so they weren't answering questions, and we don't put that information out, because then people would know the truth. So we don't do
Carnival is starting up. Carnival.
Well, I knew that they were saying some companies were. That's what I thought, because they said that the government was trying to get them open by summer. I have to go let Poochie in. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, the dog, he will not let us do a live stream without being involved. So here comes Charles. Here comes Charlie.
You are dragging my leg.
No, I am not playing with your chicken right now, Charlie. It's a stuffed chicken, just to clarify that. Flemmy, thank you. Did not have to open the doors, let the idiots in, and lock it down.
Locked in, yeah.
I mean, look, they were talking, they were not at the investment call, but some of the rumors were, and they wouldn't commit to that either. They're like, well, what exactly is the protocol going to be? They wouldn't commit to that. They said, we're looking at many, many options. Basically, just what WDW Pro said, that they're discussing many options. Some of those options are worst case scenario. They don't open until next year. Some of the options include signing a freaking waiver before you go into the park.
So a lot of things he's been saying have been coming to pass. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah.
This is why we told everybody that you should follow some of these people over there, because they're actual insiders. This is where we get information from for years for our Disney blog.
Yeah, so we'll kind of go through here a little bit. Let's pick up some of these. Well, yeah, they're not going to be paying dividends. That sent the stock tumbling. They're like, well, we'll look at it again. Hey, make
6
sure.
6 months, yeah.
Yep, 6 months. No dividends. Make sure. Thank you. How you doing? Didn't have to do that. Iger's a fool. Kennedy is a psycho.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Chapek is inexperienced. Yeah, he's like a deer in the headlights, and I pray that Disney doesn't get bought by another company. I don't see that happening, but I see them streamlining.
Something's going to happen, because they've lost $1 billion so far.
Yeah, I can hear Charlie's nails on the floor. Yeah.
Yes, Charlie's in here.
It's all hardwood in the house, and it's like clack, 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 clack.
His name is Sir Charles Toasty Butternuts Pendragon III Esquire, but we call him Charlie.
All right, so this is, we'll talk about this. This pissed people off. Bowing to the need to conserve cash with its business staggering under the coronavirus pandemic, Disney set would forego paying a semi-annual cash dividend this July, a historic decision and one that will allow to preserve $1.6 billion. Now, they lost like $1.4 billion. You have to realize this is Q2. The parks were only closed for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
Q3 is going to be catastrophic.
Yes, because that's when it's all going to hit. That's when all the damage is going to be done. Unless they can somehow get open partway through Q3, because that would end when?
Let's see. So it's October. The end of September is the end of
April, May, June.
June.
Oh yeah, I don't see that.
That's not going to happen.
No,
because I think if people kept saying that they thought they were going to open in June because they were taking bookings for June. If they were going to open in June, they would need people there right now to get the place ready. Now, there are people supposedly going to Disney Springs. I can see them opening Springs, before the theme parks. They could open the restaurants and some of the stores.
In Shanghai, they had a couple of the restaurants. They had the restaurant open, and they had like their downtown Disney. Would you see it, Charles? And things like that opened first with guidelines. So they'll probably do that. I know the one parking garage at Disney Springs is supposedly open for cast members only. So there's something going on there. I don't know.
Eric, thank you. Didn't have to do that. How to deal with Disney's downfall. Step 1, point. Step 2, laugh. Step 3, repeat. Yeah, you know, they got too big, but I also feel bad for the cast members. I really do.
That's who I feel bad for, because honestly, they're the ones who make the parks worth going to in the first place, and they're the ones who get the shaft first. Yeah,
Mick Shork again. Thank you. Let me run Disney. At least I have passion. Iger, yeah, I think Eisner actually had more passion than Iger. He's the Borg, and Chapek is just happy to be there.
And when they're reading the thing, they're just really calmly, very robotic.
Beep, boop, bop. We ran this through our lawyers.
It was clear they were reading something that was prepared. It was very obvious.
Very Disney. Nick asked what kind of breed Charles is.
He is a Cavamo. So he is a King Charles Cavalier and Eskimo mix. If you look it up, you can find pictures. He's very, very cute. I put a picture of him up. Let me see if I can find a picture of him and I'll send it to you. Or to you, and then you can post it.
Well, I can't do that because I'd have to open Facebook and all that junk.
Oh, never mind. I can't send a picture.
Go out to Twitter. We'll put pictures of Charles.
We'll put pictures of him on Twitter later.
We should put him in the 100,000. We didn't put him in.
Actually, I'll just go tell Trisket to put one up.
Okay, we'll do that later. Rain, thank you didn't have to do that. I think Kennedy will be gone soon. Chapek is a temp. Yeah, he is.
It seems that way.
They started with Iger. So Christine McCarthy, that's it, McCarthy, said the board made the decision to forego a dividend payment for the first half of the fiscal year that would have been applied in July. It preserves the $1.6 billion in cash, assuming the company had held the dividend stable 88 cents a share. They're actually talking 60.
Wait, I gotta interrupt for a second. Someone said, I guess so much for buying Fox. Oh my God. Okay, so in the call, they addressed that, and they went on about how it was a great buy.
Yeah, that Fox actually brought $200 million to the table by the time they filtered it.
How much that cost them though?
$71 billion.
No, but I'm saying they brought $200 million in what way? They didn't recoup all the other billions they spent. So that doesn't make any sense.
But Fox made them $200 million, which is a drop in the bucket compared to what they're losing.
$71 billion.
Yeah. So anyway, she said in the conference call, we're evaluating a wide range of scenarios. Basically, we're trying to come up with a plan, and we don't have a plan. Companies have been under pressure to reduce dividends. Some, like AT&T, have opted to keep the payouts, which are popular with investors. Disney has a long history of consistent dividend payments. It goes back over 40 years. Yeah, and they also laid off 100,000 people.
Well, does this mean that the higher ups aren't getting their dividends that they were supposed to be still getting?
Probably not, because there was a lot of backlash.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think this is about, is the backlash that came off of that.
Yeah, so they're tough decisions. So the board's action is one of several measures the company has taken in the wake of the pandemic, including reducing capital spending, cutting salaries for senior management, and making the difficult decision to furlough employees. And they've said before that, if you read between the lines, it sounds to me like Iger's saying nothing is off the table at this point. We're going to cut, we're going to trim things we had plans for before.
Was that Chapek said that?
It might have been. No, I think it was Iger.
Was it Iger? I thought it was
Iger.
Chapek.
Yeah, because they were asking them specifically what was going on with some of the stuff they had planned, like the cruise ships. And
I think I wrote that as Chapek.
Yeah,
well, I was trying to listen to it.
But they were like, yeah, we don't know. And it was, Disney speak for, yeah, we're going to cut shit, but we're not going to tell you what we're going to cut. We're just going to do it. Mm-hmm. That's how they work. That's how they roll. So let me see here. What do we got, guys? I don't want to miss anybody. Karasu Macha, thank you. Didn't have to do that. This might be the excuse. They need to burn contracts for projects if they trim enough fat. All at once, nobody will notice. Certain unpopular people gone.
Well, they've already been doing that.
Some people will not come back from their furloughs. Mm-hmm. And some people might get gone and they'll just look at it as a cost-cutting
Well, they're doing that force majeure already on some contracts they have for Disney+. He's going to snore, and that's all you're going to have to deal with it. The dog snores, sorry.
John Krupp, thank you. This is the live stream at its finest, right?
Yeah, the dog snores.
Some quality entertainment, people.
But he's happy, and that's what matters.
He's very happy. He's so happy he came in, laid down, brought his chicken toy over, laid down, now he's snoring on the floor. John Krupp, thank you. Didn't have to do that. The parks probably won't open in 2020. I don't, if they do, it's going to be the very end.
Well, it was funny because, not funny, but like interesting. They have that Orange County Task Force, Economic Recovery Task Force, and they've been meeting for Florida. And they had a meeting yesterday, the day before. And they asked flat out Disney and Universal and SeaWorld if they had plans for reopening anytime in the near future. And basically they said, if you got the Pirates and Princesses, you can read. I completely transcribed it. But they basically all said the same thing. We don't know. And we aren't at a position where we can share that information with you anyway. And we have to wait and see what, the outlines are from the government and, how it is where safety is concerned. And they all said they have no idea. They couldn't give them any timeline or anything. No. None of them.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of Disney watchers were watching this hoping that they would get an opening date, especially travel agents. I know, like, the Diz, they've been like, oh, we think it's going to be June. All these people are like, oh, Disney's going to give us an answer. It's like, no, they're not. They're not. I'm not trying to throw shade at people, but I'm like, they're not because they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know. And they could open tomorrow if they wanted the lawsuits and all the other junk they have to deal with.
I would say later rather than sooner.
I'm thinking fall at the earliest. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but again, to get Disney World ready to open, there would be people coming in now. It would take them weeks to get things in order. Okay, do you understand the whole world is effed? Yes.
Yes, it is.
It is. They get John Lasseter back. I don't think that's ever going to happen, unfortunately. But Tim Scorpion, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Where'd you go there, Tim? And they did nothing good with the X-Men. No.
Not yet. I don't think they're ever doing good with the X-Men, but
I want to see 90s. I want to see 80s, 90s X-Men
so
on screen.
Everybody else. That's not going to happen. Because you want it, it'll never happen.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be the X-Persons and
with Brie Larson,
right? Which now they're apparently talking to Brie Larson for Star Wars again. So who knows?
Crafts and Cartoon Craziness. Thank you. Didn't have to do that. Do you think they will run the Boo to You Unlimited pass this year to bring more people?
I don't know, but
they fit them in the park.
It's going to depend on what the guidelines are, and it's going to depend on if they're going to even have the shows. Because I know, like in Shanghai, when they're opening, like the parades and the parties, they're canceling for a while. So it's going to depend when it opens and if they're even going to have it. I mean, if they're going to have it, they might, as long as they don't go over the capacity. I mean, that was a really good deal. I mean, if you live there, gosh, it was an amazing deal.
Yeah, because then, you could do, because a lot of times you do one night, you have to choose, like, do I want to see the shows or do I want to ride the rides? And
you got to do both. I mean, it was a really good deal.
Thank you, Arian, for being a new member. You get a little fishy for that. Thank you. Jeremiah, thank you. Didn't have to do that. The top end always gets paid, the bottom gets the shaft. That is true. That is very true. Let me see here. Seeing a lot of little fishies here.
You can be on the bottom from now on. No, I'm kidding.
I am a power bottom.
Sorry, I was going to...
It's Bun Solo. Tones review, thank you. Is Hasbro reassessing a toy license after this? I don't know. They're just gonna make a bunch of Baby Yoda, because Baby Yoda sells.
That sells no matter what. Which we did get. We did get the Build-A-Bear Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
If you go out to,
it's kind of scary.
It's kind of creepy. If you go out to the Pirates and Princesses Facebook or the Instagram, Baby Yoda. There's a video of Baby Yoda on there.
Baby Yoda.
We got Baby Yoda, and he's a little bit creepy.
he's Baby Yoda.
That was the Build-A-Bear one that sold out.
He looks kind of weird. He doesn't look very cute. He's okay. He's all right. So coming from Market Watch.
Okay, I'm sorry, I keep distracting you.
You slapped me with Bun Solo.
I didn't mean to slap you, Bun Solo. Bun Solo slapped you on his own. That had nothing to do with me.
Walt Disney dove more than 90% in second quarter. Third is going to be worse.
Yeah,
Third is going to be a disaster. Disaster. An example of the drastic effects on the company from COVID-19. Because again, we only saw the beginning of it at the tail end of Q2.
Mm-hmm.
Q3 is going to be a freaking washout.
Well, yeah, they closed it because the end of Q2 was what, March or April?
It would have been like beginning of March, yes.
Yeah, so they didn't close until the middle of March.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
it was the 11th, I think, in
it was 16th
California, and the 16th in
I think
Disney World,
it was like the 14th.
Yeah, so I mean, we're talking like just a couple of weeks. It was like, oh my God, look how bad it is. I'm like, oh, just wait for the next quarter. That's gonna be horrible. So they reported fiscal second quarter profit of $460 million or 26-cent share on sales of. I'm getting down here. Let's see here.
You have a bunch you have to answer.
I got a bunch. Oh boy. Okay, up from $14.9 billion in the year ago quarter, which included only a few days of results from Disney's $71 billion acquisition of Fox. That was a huge mistake, but they tried to justify it again. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, let's go here. Make sure we got A-Tones review. Okay, J Paula 821. Thank you. Didn't have to do that. It's like karma bit them harder for hiring Weinstein's assistant.
Yeah, well, they didn't even bring that one up yet.
They could cancel that very easily. Just say, "Whoopsie, we ran out of money. We got to let you go there, Leslie."
Well, apparently they're already planning on how they're gonna make everybody out to be horrible people for having issues with it.
Mick Short says, sending mail, bloodthirsty war dolphin.
Okay, then.
Never mess with a war dolphin.
Especially
ever.
a bloodthirsty one.
Not a bloodthirsty one. Terry, thank you. You did not have to do that. Happy early Mother's Day, Geeky. Get her a big bouquet of flowers for me, will you?
Yeah, my favorite flowers are kind of hard to get. They're irises. Irises are my favorite. But you never can get them for bouquets because you have to have them special ordered, don't you? Because you've tried.
I've tried because everybody dies and they take all the irises.
Apparently, it's the #1 funeral flower.
Yeah.
But it is also my favorite flower, and it was a flower for royalty, as it turned out.
Well, we have irises by the side of the house. But
yes.
Charlie's been peeing on them though.
Don't let him.
Well, I'm not trying to let him. He just kind of.
Mama and Papa Sparkles gave me irises. Don't let him pee on them.
Well, he already
That's like acid,
destroyed.
man.
He already destroyed our.
Yeah.
Lamp post.
We're taking sides. This is a funny story. So we have to tell this story.
Let's tell the story.
At the end of our parking area, we had this lamp post that came with the house. Had. The dog likes peeing the lamp post. Well, as it turns out, the lamp post was made of very thin metal.
Aluminum.
And so the lamp post, it came with the house. We would never have used an aluminum pole. And the lamp post broke. And it fell over. And there is no more lamp post. But that's okay. I didn't like it anyway, so I was kind of happy it was gone.
It's from 4.5 years of the dog taking a whiz on the
lamp post.
On the lamp post.
Anyway, let's go back to the important things, which is Disney and Star Wars, and not the dog peeing on lampposts.
Well, that's important to the dog.
Because he doesn't know where it went.
He's got to let it go. 3D printing the miniature universe with Papa Jester. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Didn't have to do that, but that's awesome. Christian Corlejo, ever thought of doing a live stream roundtable discussion with other YouTubers? We have done a couple. If so, are you open to suggestion for YouTubers? Possibly. We do them when we can do them. We just have a lot of other stuff going on.
Yeah, we're slammed.
You know, we tried doing a roundtable and we got struck.
They did. Yes, you did
down.
try to do it, and then you got struck.
Somebody didn't like somebody that was on the panel, I guess.
Apparently.
Jack Scarata, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Neon Geeky, hear me out. Why not start a Clownfish TV Minecraft server? Talked about it. We actually talked about it. It's a good place for the community to gather and play together. Would anybody play on a Clown? Because I looked into hosting.
Okay, here. He told you what the bloodthirsty was.
Remember that Transformer ripoff toy that was a dolphin? That's what it was. That's what it was. I knew it sounded vaguely familiar.
That's cool.
Man, I can hear that dog clear across the room snoring.
He's very loud.
He is a very loud dog. Yeah, if anybody would like a Minecraft server, let us know, because we actually talked about it, me and Squid Gang. We're like, let's do a Minecraft server. He's like, nobody's gonna come to our Minecraft server, because I can actually get hosting for that for a couple bucks a month. And
so it said, Geeky's got rare taste. Apparently I do. And Geeky is goth confirmed. Actually, I'm not gothy at all.
She is not.
It's funny because I was the antithesis of what his friends thought he'd marry. They thought he'd end up with some gothy girl, and I was like, hey, I mean, I know I sound like mean and yelly, but I'm actually pretty cheerful usually, and I'm always smiling at people and stuff. So, and a lot of people think I'm very, very friendly and think I'm a sweetheart, except for when I'm mad about Star Wars.
I think you're a sweetheart.
So I am completely opposite of what they thought, and they thought he'd end up with a goth girl.
Yeah, A also says dog pee is toxic. It's like,
it is. It kills my grass. It kills my flowers. Don't let him pee on my flowers.
Okay, Sharp Gaming. You think Kathleen Kennedy will be fired soon? I think she'll get gone for budgetary reasons.
Well, you know what? We would have thought they would have done it by now. She flipping cost them how much money and shit.
That's a lot of shit. Yeah, Massive Panda. I like that name.
I do too.
That's what they used to call me, Massive.
No, it is not what they ever called you.
It's not what they used to. Wish I didn't miss the first half hour of the stream. Hope all's well, guys. Thank you.
Well, when we play it back, you can catch it then.
Frame Freak Studio. Hey, Clownfish, you think Disney is going to do in Q3? It's going to be awful.
It's not going to be good.
It's going to be horrible. That's with all the damage.
Good.
You're going to see all the damage on Q3.
I think they have going for them is Disney Plus, and even that's questionable because we've HBO Max coming.
Yeah.
And they're gonna give it a hit.
Not that we're shilling for HBO Max. Everybody's like, oh my god, you took free stuff.
But HBO Max is going to have Studio Ghibli and some other stuff. So I'm just like, they're fighting fire with fire on the animation and stuff.
Yeah, they're not doing so hot. Oh god, they're under $100 again. Yeah.
Well, I've seen them lower.
Usually when they have an earnings call, usually that goes up because people are feeling pretty good. But it's dropping off the cliff.
They tried, though. They really tried to put the positive spin on it right from the get-go. And it just didn't work. We're like laughing, like, oh, here comes the spin.
The one guy, and I forget his name, he's from UBS, the guy who predicted 2021. He's like, So, and they never answered this.
The investor guy, that one who said about the 2021 that after we did, but he was saying about it too.
Yeah, he said, do you think you might be better off just like waiting for a vaccine or something? And they sidestepped that whole issue. Mm-hmm. They put up on the Parks blog, I sent that to you, I don't know if you saw it yet, but they had their health expert, Disney's health expert.
I saw it. I didn't read it, but I saw it came up during the call, right before the call.
They literally repeated everything that robotic Bob Iger said, and basically we're not telling you anything. Disney doesn't know what the hell is going to happen. We're going to do it a nice way
so you think you got something from it. Someone said, let Rome burn. Rome smells like Lebanon bologna, and unless you're from PA, you probably don't even know what that means. But that's the smell from Rome burning in Spaceship Earth. It smells like Lebanon bologna.
It does. They used to call it, my grandparents, they used to call it horse meat.
It's not horse meat.
But it's really expensive now. It's Amish bologna. And I think it's a Pennsylvania thing. I don't think you can buy it.
It's from Lebanon, PA, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy it anywhere else, but it comes in like bologna flavor and sweet bologna flavor, which is basically bologna with sugar on it. So if you took a bologna sandwich and dumped some sugar on it, that's sweet Lebanon bologna. But it's really expensive now. It's like $6 or $7
Someone wants to know what we think of Fresh Baked. You mean like the channel?
Yeah, he's okay. He does Disneyland.
Yeah, they did the cool thing where they had the hack for the Millennium Falcon, and apparently,
that's right.
They're trying to put a bunch of ride-through videos and stuff in. Yeah, they've been pretty cool.
All right, so let's make sure we don't miss anybody here. Here in the Steadfast, thank you. Did not have to do that. Let's see what we got here. Disney dumpster fire.
You should start a hashtag justice for Stormtrooper girl.
Yeah, Stormtrooper girl. She didn't do nothing. She got beat up.
Well, that was lucky it wasn't me they were thrown to the ground. It would not go.
Oh my God!
Been in trouble.
That would have been.
I would have been dead probably.
Tragic.
Shots would have been fired.
No, they wouldn't have been. That's because then they would have had reason to. Brian Spittler, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Your dog's pee is stronger than any power save space and Snowflake will ever have.
True. That's funny.
Bell Snickle, thank you. You didn't have to do that. You get the little fishy for supporting the channel.
Someone prefers Intercourse PA. There's also Desire and Panic and Blue Ball.
So can you imagine if you live between like Desire, Panic, and Blue Ball and Intercourse?
Desire and Panic are on one side and Intercourse and Blue Ball are on the other.
Well, I know which direction I would choose if it were my choice, because then I wouldn't have as much of the problem. Anyway. What are you talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. Anyway, yeah, so it was a dumpster fire. I'm looking at my notes, and I had so many notes. They said that most of Orlando, which most people know, their traffic is from out of state, so they fly in. If people aren't flying, guess what? They're not going to Disney. Now, the thing that was really interesting was Shanghai, because they're going to open Shanghai back up.
Right.
Normally, Shanghai can hold 80,000. They were talking, they were going to go for, I guess the government.
30%.
30%, but they were actually going to open less than that.
Yeah, they said 30% was what the government was setting as a guideline. But that would be 24,000. But they're going to go well below that, they said.
They're saying masks for the guests and the employees, so it's going to look like a horror movie.
Well, that's how it's going to be at all the parks when they open, guaranteed.
I want to get a Joker one just to mess with people.
There you go. We're out to Disney. They'll probably make you wear Disney ones or something.
Probably. Like, these are Mickey certified. Marksman of 117B, thank you. I think Kenny will pull a power move and remove Bob.
There's something going on, guys. I can't understand how this person has the power they have.
The dark side will take over Disney. The fact she's still here, don't underestimate her power. Something is up.
Well, they marginalized her clear down to one show, and even that one, she's like causing all the shitstorm.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad. What else we got here? So they're not giving out dividends. Now this is coming from what? WDW News Today. During Disney's company Q2 earnings call, it was revealed that there will be a $900 million decrease in CapEx spending. For fiscal year 20, mostly due to postponed construction and refurbishment. Again, they would not tell you what they're going to cancel.
No.
They were very dodgy about that. They would not tell you if they're going to cancel the ships. I think the Star Wars Hotel is toast. That's my own personal opinion.
We've been saying for a while, I think they're going to get rid of it because it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculously expensive. It's a LARPing experience, and it's like $3,000 a weekend.
Yeah.
Who's going to have the money for that?
Nobody's. That's what they're not.
They're moving forward on their DVC. The one that's at River Country. What's it called again? I forget off the top of my head. But the one that they're putting in River Country is, my mind just went...
Reflections?
Yes, Reflections. They're moving ahead with that, and that's the DVC.
Oh, God, they bet on hey, Rage and Ray, how's it going? Leon Garnett, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Stormtrooper Girl was just the beginning. Next, we'll be arrested for open carry a proton pack on Halloween. Also, YouTube notifications suck.
Sorry, we just didn't know we were going to do it live either. We usually give people notice. We didn't.
I didn't feel like editing another video.
Basically, you didn't feel like editing.
Bell Sickle, thank you. Do you think Jens think Disney could sell Lucasfilm back to George and Kennedy crashed Star Wars on purpose. Possibly. Wouldn't that be interesting? That would be a hell of a thing to do, though.
I think so.
It has happened before, though. It happened with Power Rangers.
Yeah, that's true.
But Power Rangers is...
she crashed it on purpose?
No, I think she's just really bad.
Because her reputation on the line.
And that's what's sad about Kathleen Kennedy is I actually had a lot of hope, because you look at so many of the movies we grew up loving, and her name is on the credits. You know, so we're like,
oh my God, is an important person usually.
but you look at it and like we're watching the Goonies, there's Kathleen Kennedy. You watch Indiana Jones, there's Kathleen Kennedy. Jurassic Park, Kathleen Kennedy. So it was like, God, you know, she's got a pedigree, but it's like, what the hell did you do? But could they sell back to George? Yeah, they could.
Like a dog.
Well, they could, but they've got so much invested in it at this point. I don't think they didn't build a Power Rangers land.
No,
and
they're not going to. They're going to do what they can to hold on to it. Yeah. However, what's interesting, the one thing that they did say about the parks was that they weren't going to reopen it until they knew they'd make money on it. That they would be making money, and that they wouldn't be, you know, that they would make more money than the overhead was. And I wonder if they get to a point on Star Wars where they're not making as much money as the overhead is. If they would, you know, as long as they got to keep the rights to the parks, they would do that. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah. We got a new member, another little fishy joined the reef. Yay. Drusilla, thank you. Thank you for that. Bun Solo says thank you. Some people said they'd go Star Wars. I'd do it once, but $3,000 a pop, that's a hell of a...
Yeah. That's not something that people are going to do over and over and over again.
So what's going on? Disney having a bad Q2, but this is nothing compared to what we're going to see in Q3.
I agree. They were kind of embracing people for Q3, I think.
Like, guys, just remember... Look on the bright side. Always look on the bright side.
Well, 6 months from now, when they're talking about dividends, we're even out of the fiscal year.
Yeah, so it's bad. Don't expect any profit out of Disney anytime soon. Karasu Matcha, thank you. Didn't have to do that. It would be awesome if they sold back to George. I don't know. I don't know what that would take. I don't know if George has. I mean, they gave him mostly stock, as I understand. They gave him a lot of stock.
Well, it's not worth much now. I hope he sold it.
Oh, God, I hope you dumped it, George. I hope you did. Sharp Gaming, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Does Squid King Pinky Boo hit the deck when they make Geeky go on a rant or feel the wrath of Geeky?
Actually, I don't yell at them like that.
Sometimes.
I think I maybe once in a blue moon have ever yelled at them, and it's been something really, really, really bad. Like, I'm not usually one to yell at them like that.
Bright Side is Fresh Baked. Is looking at the bright side. Yeah, there we go. So Fresh Baked is like, oh, it's gonna be fine here. Actually, I think California is gonna open later than Florida.
I do think so too, because the governor's even saying.
Yeah, he's got the state lockdown. I mean, they're trying to ask these questions, and everybody's like, their whole tone. Like last time they were pissed. This time they're just like, so is there any revenue coming out of Hulu? When can we expect
they're asking about Hulu.
Disney Plus to be profitable? You know, is ESPN, are you making any money? What about the ads?
I told you guys before about ESPN. They weren't having any live sporting events because they can't. Now, there is talk they might bring them to Disney to do there. But they weren't having live sporting events. So the different, like Dish Network and some of the different providers were like, hey, can we have our money back to give our customers a refund since they're not getting any live sports for ESPN?
Yeah, right.
And they basically said no. Because they wanted to claim force majeure, and Disney said no. ESPN said no. But then Disney's out there claiming it on stuff, which I thought was very, interesting and hypocritical.
So George Lucas is working on new Star Wars?
Well, they were saying that they thought they were going to bring him in some capacity for some things, but they hadn't said anything else about it.
Yellow Flash got his live stream taken down.
I know again? A lot of people
did. Is that recently? I know a lot of people did. Some folks said that it's the first time that they've been to a stream. Thank you. It gets a little chaotic here, and George should take his baby back. He should. So yeah, again, coming from WDW News today, obviously related to ongoing construction delays and how much longer they're expecting to go on for, I think, a while. It also indicates the cancellations and budget cuts being made to some ongoing parks projects, possibly those not announced or where ground has been broken.
Well, that's what people said. People have said that they think that some of the cuts, we've heard it on the WDW Magic boards as well, is that there are probably a lot of projects they didn't announce. Yeah. So that's probably where we're going to see most of the cuts.
Yeah, well, here.
We never know that they're cut because we never knew they were announced.
Yep, here's what he said. In the final Q&A segment of the call, it was Chapek, okay? Mm-hmm. Chapek indicated they would be running a fine-tooth comb through the budgets of these projects moving forward. Big plans are still in the works for the parks, but they will be reduced. So we could have, like, budget cut Mickey from... Because they had... The one good thing that has come out of, Disney in the last couple of years is there's a ton of new rides, a ton of new stuff, it's a mixed bag, how it actually pans out. But like we had all these projects announced all these new rides. Now they're like, yeah, we might have to cut back on a lot of that because we were out of money.
Yeah. Oh, and if you guys wanted to see the Rise of the Resistance ride the whole way through the queue and everything, if you go to Pirates and Princesses?
Oh, Pirates and Princesses on YouTube. Yeah, I put
the ride through videos up we took in February. Yeah. You can see the queue and everything. And
before lock.
Yeah. We actually got the full ride through, not just the part where you're actually in the ride vehicle. We actually did all of it. And we didn't even need media access for that.
No, we didn't. Look at that. Neo Carbine, thank you, didn't have to do that. Darth Cathius Kennedius. The fall of her reign shall be as thunderous as 1,000 ring banshees. Only despair and disappointment is left.
I can't even understand the logic behind any of this. And then it picks the one person that could be cause an issue legally because Bob Iger's already having some trouble with that whole being, with the Disney being connected. Yeah. The one thing that could cause him trouble with Disney, and that's the person they pick.
That was not his decision.
No, I know, but I'm saying her.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell me it wasn't intentional. There's got to be something going on.
Yeah, there's definitely a power play going on here. I think the apprentice is trying to take out the master. Or we got two dueling factions going on here. Black Impala, 1967. Thank you. I keep wondering if they will have to streamline sell back some of their assets and licenses off to survive. Possibly. I want to sell Fox back. Funny story about Fox. Rupert Murdoch, who's now like the richest man in Hollywood or connected to the media because he's got all this cash now because Disney gave him a bunch of cash. He went and he bought Tubi. Okay. Now Tubi's kind of like what the hell is Tubi? It is a streaming service. They had
It's a very small one.
It's a small one. They had a bunch of old NBC stuff on there. They've got, I think, He-Man and She-Ra were on there.
They took some of it off though, I think, because they're going to put it on Peacock probably.
But the infrastructure is already there.
That's true.
So potentially, a guy like Rupert Murdoch could wait for all these studios to crumble and be like, yeah, I'll buy it back for about 10% of what you paid me for it.
Well, that's what happened with Power Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, because Disney ran into the ground. It was worthless to Disney, so they sold it back to Haim Saban for, I think, $100 million, and then Hasbro bought it for like $600 million. So the dude made $500 million in like a couple of years.
So they should animate Heir to the Empire. I wish they would. I love Heir to the Empire.
That would be cool. Now that they're going back and strip mining all the good characters out of it.
Yeah, they are.
So I know it's a Disney theme live, but is there any updates on the stats of AT&T and Warner Media? I just know they're going to cut, and apparently they don't completely hate us. So
yeah, so that was surprising.
That was shocking. Druzilla, thank you, didn't have to do that. I did have to join. The fishy was too cute. Still this whole fustercluck going on with
I like that.
Not just Disney, but Naughty Dog and Marvel and DC is fun to watch. Everybody is
losing their minds.
Freaking out. Naughty Dog shocked me.
Yeah. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, that's Chewy giving you. Yeah.
That wasn't the dog.
John Krupp, thank you. ESPN had rock skipping. Wait, what? Rock skipping champion. Oh, they talked about that. They have nothing.
Wait, they did.
No, they didn't talk about the rock skipping. That is.
Was that real?
Yeah, apparently that is sadness on a whole nother level. I didn't know that.
I think that was a joke, right?
Because I kept joking. It should be like Dodgeball, the movie.
That would be fun. I'd watch that.
No, they said they've got 3 new movies in the works for ESPN, and they have a lot of confidence in its future.
3 movies. I think I did hear that. They're doing 3 movies for ESPN, guys. That's what you want to see with ESPN. Movies. You know what they need to do? Robot Dodgeball. Oh, have you ever seen Holy Moly? And he has the guy's doing the golf with the robot, and he's like, doing the swing with the robot.
Yeah.
They need that. So people put people's faces on the screens, and then just throw dodgeballs at each other.
Let's not stop there. Let's just have actual giant battle robots beat the shit out of each other on ESPN.
Let's go Robot Jocks.
Let's go Robot Jocks, full Robot Jocks. I would actually watch that.
Actually, you had a comic that you were going to call Robot Jocks. That's a whole other story.
And parts of it became another comic. Asan Dulon, thank you, didn't have to do that. We should make a betting poll on which of the main Star Wars projects gets made or not. I think they'll trickle out the High Republic. I think it'll fail spectacularly, and then you'll never hear anything about it again.
Yeah, it's going to go down. And then, if you didn't hear the rant earlier, supposedly, allegedly, this is WDW Pro again, is that what he's hearing is, he or she is hearing, is that Kathleen Kennedy's already before it even becomes an issue, trying to drum up this thing that everybody who doesn't like it is anti-woman, misogynist, hater, racist, troll, whatever. The typical bullshit that we get. And they're preemptively already trying to set this up to go after fans and using people that are, women and minorities as a shield. And I basically told them to go F themselves in the other video. I don't remember much about it. I just remember I was yelling.
All right. I don't remember. I sort of blacked out.
I did.
My mouth just kept moving.
Well, I didn't know it was that bad, so I heard you play it back, and I'm like, oh my God, I was terrible.
Rose, thank you.
Sorry,
thank you for joining the reef. You got a little fishy there. We need to do more with this and turn it into.
Yeah, we do.
Because I don't want to do Patreon because I think that's a shit show. But I wouldn't mind doing more with the YouTube membership thing.
There's more people coming in.
Hal's a new member. Thank you,
Plus,
Hal.
there's comments.
Okay, let me see.
And then someone said about a shit show, and I want to talk about something about that in a minute.
Wait. Are we talking about Turdy Works?
Yeah, I want to talk about Turdy Works.
We're talking about Turdy Works? Okay.
Just for a second.
Matches 35, thank you. You didn't have to do it. Everything's burning. Mm-hmm. It is. Karasu Mancha, thank you. Robot Jocks, was that Hugh Jackman? That was
it wasn't Hugh
Steel.
Jackman.
Oh, God, what was it called? Something Steel.
The girl that's married.
Real Steel.
Oh, yeah.
It was that it was actually a pretty
Robot
good movie.
Jocks was years before that.
Robot Jocks was years before that.
It had the chick that played Billy on Days of Our Lives that was married to that Hamlin guy. Anyway.
I don't know. Mega Lone Wolf 20 is a new member. Join in the reef.
Thank you.
We should do a Minecraft server for the members. There we go. That should be a thing. Aaron Ramsby, thank you. Owns Marvel, and now they have their own Deadpool. Ooh. Marksman of 117B. It's Tara Reid situation. Principles for you, not me. That's pretty much it. I am the Sheepdog 45. Keep it up.
We're trying.
That pair.
Okay, so speaking of shit show, there's this new show. It has nothing to do with Disney, but I thought it was funny. It's called Turdy Works. And it's about a town who collects moose turds and then turns them into crafts and sells them. And I want to say...
This is a real show.
Locally, it is. And I was going to say, locally, we had them beat because in the one town that's over by here, like, just 25 minutes away, I told you about that. When we were kids, we went there, and it had a gift shop, and my sister picked up something, and she's like, oh, it's so cute, and started petting it. And then I saw that it was called Poopets, which meant they were made out of turds. They were literally polished turds. You can totally polish a turd and then seal it. And that's what they did. And it was cute. She had a face painted on it, and she's like, "Oh, it's so cute." And I was like, "Poopet, it's poop." And she dropped it.
It's a pet. It's a poop. It's a poop pet. Hooded theme music, thank you. What do you think the end game is for these companies that keep making bad decisions?
I have no idea.
Filling their products with agenda and talking down to fans. They thought the money would never end.
They keep losing money and they learn a lesson.
I think we're going to see a drastically different entertainment industry 1 to 2 years from now. I think we're going to see a rise in independent entertainment. I think we're going to see a consolidation of some of these companies as they kind of struggle to survive. It's going to upend everything. Absolutely. And they had too much money for too long, and they thought that they could do anything they wanted, and the sheeple will just eat it up.
You know, like I said in the other video, people are on to your shit, and they're not going to put up with it anymore. They're going to turn your shit into poo pets and make you eat them.
Mega Lone Wolf 20, thank you, didn't have to do that. On ESPN Radio, they were doing play-by-play of NBA players playing NBA 2K on PS4. So they're doing freaking gaming live streams.
You know, ESPN has been doing, Disney has been doing esports.
Well, they canceled a big esports.
I know, but I'm saying, you know, they could do some more of the esports if they wanted to do it remotely because they were already trying to look how, hey, follow kids, look how trendy we are. And they were trying to get into esports.
Fun fact, did you hear that YouTube signed an exclusivity agreement with PewDiePie to exclusively stream on YouTube? Talk about irony. Well, that whole thing that was Disney. That was Disney getting involved with that because PewDiePie was part of Maker Studios. We were part of Maker Studios. A different channel we were part of Maker Studios too. And Disney, again, since they're terrified of bad press, and since they try to buy everything, they couldn't buy YouTube, so they bought Maker Studios thinking they would buy PewDiePie and buy Markiplier and buy all these. It blew up in their faces because they didn't know what they were buying.
Well, that's the thing. You can't get, you
can't buy YouTubers.
You can't tell, you control what they're saying. You can't. They're not like the media. You can't just buy them off. And that's what happens. That's like, we aren't buy-offable either. So that's just it.
Except for HBO because they gave us some candy.
I will not do it.
They gave us a box of candy.
The proof is in the pudding, and if you have good stuff, we'll say so. If it's not good, we'll say so. And they just thought you could control stuff, and they found out that you can't.
You can't control people. Well, you can, but
they can control them.
Matt G, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I love your little unicorn.
Yay!
It's a rainbow.
Poops the rainbow.
I bet they poop rainbow.
That's what I just said.
They poop the rainbow. Freedom Trooper, new member. Thank you.
Woo, lots of new members. My gosh.
Like Fry, new member. We gotta do something. We gotta do something with it. We don't have a Patreon.
Hello, Thundercats to the UK. One of my daughter's best friends is from the UK.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we don't have a Patreon because I think Patreon is gonna go tits up pretty soon. because a lot of people are leaving. They're going to be laying people off. Oh, Kickstarter, I'm probably going to do a video.
We're going to do a video on that later.
Kickstarter's laying off half their staff because they're failing miserably. And they're like, oh, our products or our campaigns are down 35% year over year. I'm like, you cannot blame coronavirus for that. That means people are leaving your platform.
Find a way to blame coronavirus.
They're trying to already. Druzilla, again, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Indie products are the new mainstream in my mind. I don't know how many times I was more satisfied with a $10 indie game on Steam than some AAA title.
I agree with you.
Squid King, he plays more like I'm like, where are you finding these games? But look at what happened with again, YouTube. Look at YouTube and indie content. Look at Bendy and the Ink Machine and Five Nights at Freddy's.
I just want to say about Squid King. He was always ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah.
He was on Minecraft before Minecraft was popular, and then he was on, what was the other one? Oh crap, I can't remember. He had the figures from it too.
Terraria.
I mean, before anybody really was even talking about Terraria. And basically everybody else gets on there, he's like, oh, I'm over this now, and he goes and does something else.
He's a gaming hipster.
Yeah, he was on Bendy and Machine right away. And I mean, he was our nephew's another one who's always, on the games that are coming out, and he already knows what's going on ahead of time.
By the time the action figures hit Walmart, it's already old hat, and these kids have moved on to something else.
Except for Roblox, then they're always loved.
They still love Roblox. If you're not finishing Final Fantasy VII Remake, you should try Persona 5 Royal. Maybe. Final Fantasy VII, I got mixed feelings about because I'm mad because allegedly, Square was striking people for posting the ending. I thought that was kind of douchey. But the game itself, I mean, what we played of it actually wasn't bad. It was actually pretty good. But let's see what we got.
Trying to keep up here, guys.
Trying to keep up. Okay. Hold on, let me see. Okay, we got McKinney here. Okay, Druzilla. Okay.
We're trying, guys.
McKinney90, thank you. If Disney can't buy, then they will destroy it.
That's right. They assimilate and destroy it.
They're the Borg. They
think they can do whatever, and whenever they get hold of something else, they don't understand it fundamentally, and all they do is just ruin it. They
run it into the ground because they don't get it. The only one that worked really well initially was Pixar, but even Pixar has been relegated to making mostly sequels.
That's all it seems to be.
Now I do like Soul. It looks pretty good, but again, Soul even kind of is like, oh, it's another Inside Out.
I don't know. I'm not sold on that one.
Robert Flores, thank you.
I'm gonna go see Godzilla.
So George Lucas is supposed to build his Star Wars museum in L.A. I wonder if he is having second thoughts about the whole thing due to Disney Wars. I'm surprised he did not build it in San Francisco.
I'm surprised he's letting him do it because they own Star Wars now.
They own L.A. now.
Murder Hornets. I know. Someone said Murder Hornets. Yes, I know. It's like May. That's okay. No, there's Murder Hornets.
Subscribe Star. Does anybody do Subscribe Star? I know that's like, I don't know. I know Patreon's going to go belly up. They're losing people. They're hemorrhaging people. And then after that, I mean, it was bad enough that they were, kicking YouTubers off the platform, but now they're kicking anime artists off the platform. They're going through your docs to make sure you're not, drawing any possibly maybe underage characters, and people are leaving. Aural Penetrator Mike of the Undulating Muskie Need.
That's a very interesting name.
Has calling your consumers ists ever worked?
No. You know what? That makes me mad. They keep calling the people ists and phobes, and then they're like, why don't they like it? And what makes me really mad, too, is I'm so sick and tired of this whole thing, and that just proves that it's a concerted effort to go around and try to bully and belittle and mock people to try to get them shamed into agreeing with you. And it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Sup, Donald?
Frame Freak says, do you think this will mark the end of SJW content? I think companies are going to have to start producing stuff that makes money because they got to recoup the losses. They're not going to have the extra money to pursue vanity projects or agenda-based projects. Apparently, Lucasfilm did not get that memo, but you're going to see consumers.
You're going to get that memo now.
You're going to get that memo.
They're losing money. They understand money loss. Why aren't they stopping it?
Matt Deckard, hey, what's up, man? Wants to know what the Disney stock is at. It's under $100 a share.
Oh yeah, speaking of Disney, I want to talk about, Matt being here reminded me of it, the fiasco that happened yesterday. Okay, so on May the 4th, besides the fiasco that was May the 4th, Shop Disney had a cluster of epic proportions. They promoted forever that they were going to have this big May the 4th event, and they were going to have all this exclusive stuff, including Ahsoka ears, and they were going to have this Star Wars key, and they were going to have all these mugs and these collectible items. So it was going to go live at 10. And like what keeps happening on their site, when it goes live, it completely locks up because there's too many people and there's a lot of those bots going on there and buying everything as soon as it opens. But it crashed the site and people couldn't get through. I know I was trying to check out for an hour and a half and I just let it spin. Well, they had a virtual waiting room that was set up, supposed to let people in one at a time. Well, that didn't work. And I think that all that did was crash their site. So they were down for hours yesterday. Almost, most of the day they were down. They couldn't sell anything. We actually got sent things through our PMP that was through their affiliate program, which we actually don't even use, telling people to not send people to the website anymore after they were telling people to send them to the website, because it was crashing and burning everything. I was able to get the one mug I wanted, which is Hoth, because Hoth's my favorite, and a pin for Neon, and it was Empire anniversary pin, because we don't give two about the new trilogy. And then, but they were so bad, they were actually putting items up on back order, which they never do. Yeah. So they had such a shitstorm of epic proportions, and so many people complaining, they were actually going to make more merchandise and put it on back order for further down the road to try to meet the demand, because they dropped the effing ball.
Yeah, again, they can't even get that right.
Their site sucks.
They can't even get that right. Like, they know they're getting more people buy stuff. They can't even, like, get that right. It's ridiculous. And this has happened, like, 3 months in a row now. 2 or 3 months in a row.
It happens every month, the Minnie Mouse collection I buy.
G-Virus00, thank you, didn't have to do that. The real agenda of woke SJWs is trying to brainwash a younger generation into their way of thinking. But it's not working, I can tell you.
Yeah, our kids' generation, they completely see right through it.
Squid King is very, very smart. Pinky Boo is very, very smart. And they're going the opposite. They're going to be like the new Gen X, I think.
And their friends, a lot of them think it's full of crap, too.
Yeah, it's not working. John Krupp, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Kickstarter dying is sweet justice. They did to themselves. Arian said, I love the chess set you guys got. Yeah,
it was pretty cool. I don't know how to play chess, though. But it turned out my dad knows how to play chess, and apparently he used to play chess for money when he was in the Navy. I learned that. I did not know that about my father.
You gotta hustle.
I have some respect there, Papa Sparkles. I had no idea.
I used to hustle kids on Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat back in the day, but now I suck.
Did you pretend like you couldn't play?
Yeah.
You're horrible.
Yeah, but you know what? These other kids do the same thing. Like, there'd be like some 10-year-old kid be like, I suck. How do I punch? I don't know what to do. Where's the block button? Oh, I'll pay for, or we'll pay for play for quarters, right? And then you kick my ass and you take all my quarters. Anyway, McKinney90. Usually I did to other people. Yeah, McKinney90, thank you. Don't be surprised in the end if Naughty Dog tries to pull Square Enix and starts issuing suits for anyone who spoils the ending. They can't. They don't have a legal leg to stand on. That's bullshit. The only way you can sue someone, they can make threats. They're bullying YouTube and they're taking advantage of YouTube not being in office because so many people are out. But the only way they can actually do that is if someone signed an NDA or you're actually showing footage or something like that. If you're
saying I allegedly heard. And look, companies bigger and smarter than like Lucasfilm, they knew they couldn't shut people up about the spoilers. They could strike them if they put photos up, right? But they couldn't shut them up. As long as you're not showing anything, they really can't. There's not. If you're saying I thought I heard, it's you're just talking about what rumors you heard. That's completely different. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't think.
Eccentric Thinker 142, ever try a BTC address? I have. Are we talking Bitcoin? I think I set that up, but then I never did anything with it.
I don't know anything about it. So that was first I heard about it, that you set it up.
No, I did. I told you I was going to, like, last year.
Yeah, you said, but you never actually did it that I knew
I think I did, and then I forgot.
You just said you're going to do a lot of things.
We get busy. We get busy
and you don't, so I didn't know you did.
I think I did, but I never finalized whatever I had to do. So, I don't know. We'll look into it. Casual Callie, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
They know you will.
Disney should solve some IP. I think that might happen. I think they've
been selling not IP, but they've been selling different companies that they had that came with it, like gaming and tech and things.
Stuff they don't want.
They've been selling that off.
All right. Let me see here. What else do we got? I don't want to leave people out, but we're gonna probably wrap this up here pretty soon. There we go. Okay, Arian, again, my boys are 20 and 14, and they will not touch the new movies.
Because they're smart.
Yeah, kids today are way smarter than people. I mean,
my kids don't want to watch. They watched the other ones because we went, and then I said about maybe watching Rise of Skywalker, but the problem I have is even if it's free, I think about doing it, and I just don't really want to. And then Squid King is like, that's how I feel. I think maybe I'll watch it, and then I'm like, I don't want to waste 2 hours of my life.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm like, God, I don't know. There's a lot of things I can do with 2 hours. Neo Carbine, thank you. Subscribestar has the original people that got booed off Patreon for political cultural wrongthink after the shitstorm passed. They managed to get new payment processors to avoid getting depleted.
Yeah, I remember their payment process. They had problems with the payment processors. I remember that.
I don't know if I believe that.
What?
Because they tried to Patreon tried to blame the payment processors. I don't know if I believe that. I have to see some.
No. I mean, remember at Subscribestar that they were trying to go to the payment processors.
MasterCard.
Yeah, they were trying to tell them they were, this and that and all these things, and that they shouldn't take their money. I remember that.
And it's all crumbling. 3D printing the miniature universe with Papa Jester. Thank you very much for that. What about the dude who camped Discovery Island? I think he was a YouTuber, wasn't he?
No, I don't think so. No, it's actually funny. I knew about that the day before, guys, and I couldn't cover it because we know a lot of people, and somebody wrote me, and I'm not going to say who, but they wrote me, and they told me it was going down. They said the cops had found his truck at Fort Wilderness, and they found a kayak, and they knew he was out there, and they were searching for him with helicopters and boats and everything else. And I knew about the day before, but I couldn't report on it because I didn't have anything confirmed. I couldn't get anything from the police yet to know what was going on. And then the next day, Click Orlando put it up, so I was able to cover it then after I had confirmation, because I couldn't just put it out there without it.
Yeah.
But I actually had the dang thing the day before, and I couldn't cover it because I didn't have confirmation on it. But they let me know right away that there was helicopters out there searching for the dude, and he was like, he looks like he's smirking at the pictures, and he's like, I was social distancing. He doesn't look like he's all there. I was social distancing, but why he thought he didn't know he was trespassing when you have to go through all the Disney gates and stuff is beyond me. But,
Oh, God. Chris Kelling, thank you. Didn't have to do that. Maybe Disney can sell their Instagram walls. I know I'd pay $5 for bland wall to add to my house's bland walls. Yes, but it's a Disney color. It's color coordinated.
You can hashtag your own walls. You don't need them. You can have Squid King was going around hashtagging all our walls. He was like hashtag purple wall, hashtag I forget what he was calling them, but he was like cream wall and stuff like that. So you can go.
I don't.
Stop. Hashtag wood wall. Just go around and hashtag your own damn walls. You don't have to give them a penny to hashtag your own walls. Stop.
There's a joke in there somewhere, and I'm not going to dig it up.
You're right. You're not going to make that.
Chef Taylor, thank you. You really didn't have to do that. It's appreciated. Thank you. The quartering uses Subscribestar. Okay, well, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. I don't know. YouTube has the thing here, but YouTube, even with the memberships, I know they take a chunk. And if your channel gets shut down...
Somebody said you missed the super chat.
Oh, did I? Where? There's an orc one. Where at? Hold on.
We're trying to find it, guys. There's so many.
Let me see. Arian, matches. Oh, there are a whole bunch. Hold on. Okay, we got Neo Carbine. Like Fry. Welcome new Disney employee, writer, director. Here is your brain slug. Yeah, kind of, right? Matches 35. Some companies won't learn. Thank you very much for that. Here we go. Rack Eads Masha. The orc here again to make you speak like an orc, Umi. That's my best orc. Thank you.
Make sure something else above it you missed. We're not doing it on purpose, guys.
It just keeps jumping.
So much. You have to get the other program that doesn't that saves
I know.
Them.
And then people get. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. Okay, Arian. Yeah, we're doing the old school here. We're just. Okay.
Technology's hard.
Technology's hard. Brandon Forgan, thank you. Didn't have to do that. I'm trying my hand at comics. I use 3D modeling for my characters and saying, do you think the comics collapse will help indie comics? Yes, I do. Because I think what's going to happen is, well, I think Disney or Warner is either one or the other is probably going to shut down Marvel and or DC because it doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of these smaller companies are going to collapse because they depended solely on the direct market. And I think, frankly, people are getting tired of I think you're going to have to connect with your audience one-on-one. I think that's going to be very kind of old school, kind of like back in the early 80s with like Ninja Turtles where they'd print them out and sell them directly and all that. I think that's probably what's going to happen. So you might be in a good position to do that. Geeky for president, yes.
That's right.
Do I get to be vice president?
I have orange hair. Does that count?
Yeah, so let me see. Okay. Austin Kinkle, what do you want from the Sonic movie sequel? I hope you see Metal Sonic. I want Knuckles, and I want The Rock. I'm calling it now.
He wants The Rock as Knuckles.
I think he's there. I think that's going to happen.
So before you get to that,
work together.
Anybody who's coming in, if you want to know what that god-awful loud noise is, that's the dog snoring. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the dog snoring. That's not Taco Tuesday.
He thinks Rock is going to be Knuckles.
You dig this up a couple years from now. Whenever we get Sonic 2, I think they're going to get The Rock for Knuckles. I could be wrong, but they've worked together. And they were tweeting at each other.
Right after you said it, yeah.
Right after I said it. I said,
you gave him the idea.
Because I gave him the idea. So if we get The Rock as Knuckles, that is my fault.
Hello, everybody. Go ahead.
Isan Doolin, thank you. Based off your kids and their friends, do they like bigger franchises as much as cool random stuff they find YouTube and Netflix?
No, they like YouTube and Netflix more, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, they watch like indie stuff. They're not really. I notice the kids today don't seem like they're into the big, like, we were all like all about the big franchises.
I mean, there's a couple things they like, but for the most part, they spend most of their time watching, YouTube and Netflix.
They don't even watch like real
Gosh,
TV.
our daughter's been watching iCarly nonstop for days.
iCarly could never get made today.
No.
There's so much in that show that I'm like, damn, that show is funny. It still holds up, but there's so much about that show that they would never, ever, ever be able to do. Okay, so let me see. Did I get everybody? Hey, Christian Basil, how's it going? Get out your power strip, Geeky and Neon. Here are my plugs. The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS is on iHeartRadio and Facebook. Check out. Yeah, I was on once, and Christian had a really good interview with Andrew Cartmel, who had the Cartmel Master Plan, the origin for Doctor Who back in the 80s. It kind of got scrapped, but everybody keeps going to him being like, no, this retcon, that was Andrew Cartmel's plan. He shoots it down. He's like, hell no, that's not me.
What happened.
So check it out. Definitely. It's a very good show, very in-depth Doctor Who conversation. Chris Kelling, thank you. Didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
with your little fishy. We got another little fishy. Let's see here. Andrew Dale, a support a fundraiser Indiegogo for $75 for 2 special versions. Yeah, Indiegogo's doing really well, and I think Kickstarter is going to go.
Well, I think because Kickstarter started to gatekeep to extreme levels, everybody went to Indiegogo, and it used to be Kickstarter was the one to go to, not Indiegogo, and it's definitely been switched around at this point.
Yeah, because they're just like, look, we're a payment processor. That's what we are. We know our place. Kickstarter even went out of their way to restructure to make sure they were a public benefits corporation a couple of years ago, so they could tell you whether or not you were worthy of being on their platform. And they're just kind of enacting that in the last couple of years, and it's blown up in their faces. So, oh yeah, that'd be awesome if we had Uganda Knuckles, The Rock as Uganda Knuckles or something. Let's see what we got. Okay, make sure we got everybody. Okay, Andrew Knuckles, Sonic 3. I want to play on the gaming channel. I want to play the Sonic 3 and Knuckles. They have it's Air, and it's actually a fan patch, and it goes HD, and they added a whole bunch of stuff to it. It's supposed to be really good. I gotta check that out. Richard Johnson, thank you. I love your little puppy. That's very cool.
It's like Charlie a little bit.
Are you guys gonna do a video on the Funimation Con? I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I sent it to you the other day. I did tell you.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
I did tell him.
I know you told me about it, but I need to look into it more.
We haven't had time.
Neo Carbine, thank you. Patreon targeted my main PayPal because an ex-executive... Mainly PayPal, because an ex-executive from PayPal works for Patreon. Yeah, she was the... yeah, I know who she is. Umbridge, which sent a chilling effect through the entire community, and it's been a downward spiral since then, because people were basically like... And it wasn't evenly enforced. Like, they had people that were putting...
They wouldn't give you specific answers when you asked them, what are the guidelines? Well, it's a case-by-case basis.
If we like you...
It's basically a bias. Yeah, there's obviously a bias, because there wasn't a set guideline that applied to everyone.
And I'm sorry, that's not good enough. As a creator, it's like, wait, I'm gonna put my livelihood in the hands of somebody who could just decide, for whatever reason, they didn't like something I said and did on another platform, and they could just push the nuke button on my livelihood. They'd be like, no, hell no. DCB Titan, good to see you, is saying Disney's on fire, yo, in app description. Pretty much. Not.
It's maybe smoldering next month, next meeting. It might be a lot worse.
They're already trying to prepare people for Q3. You know, like, guys, we're going to get through this. It's going to be okay. The sun's going to come out tomorrow, and Mickey's going to be baking, cooking some breakfast for you. It's going to be great. It's going to be sausage and eggs.
they didn't say that.
No, they didn't say that. That would be funny if they did, though. I could just see like Bob Chapek just kind of rocking in his chair, trying to rock himself. Like, I can't handle this.
They were clearly reading off a prepared statement.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Spam crackers, thank you. As someone who has a stable income at the moment and draws as a hobby, what would I have to do to get you guys to check out my beta prologue on Insta? I want some input and trust your judgment. Oh, never trust our judgment. Spam crackers. That's the first mistake. You know what? We're going to be starting the animation channel here pretty soon, and maybe we'll have more time to look at people's stuff, and because we want to get more into art.
Creation again?
Yeah, instead of just bitching about stuff.
Well, I'll still bitch about stuff.
Bitch about stuff, but, hopefully not as much. Sonic. All right. So I think, are we going to wrap this one up here pretty soon?
Yeah, I'm getting warm, and we need to turn the air conditioner on.
Geeky's getting spicy hot, so we're going to
have to cool this down, because I've been ramped up all day, and my hip hurts.
Yeah, her hip does
sitting here hurts.
I actually do have, I'm working out right now is a lot, but I have a review of a Wacom, the Wacom 1 tablet, which should be going up tonight or tomorrow. And we've actually got Pinky Boo drawn on it.
And he draws on it too.
Yeah, I drew Scrooge and My Hero Academia. I think I did something on that too. Coughtron, thank you. You didn't have to do that. Check out Locals, legit replacement for Patreon. I'll have to look at that. I haven't
heard of it.
We're looking for like a legit, because I just don't trust Patreon. I don't trust them. Don't trust them. Sausage and eggs for $1,000 served to you by a Disney employee dressed up as Mickey Mouse.
Pretty much.
That is pretty much a character breakfast. Yeah,
yep.
you're talking family of 4, easy $200.
That's
and
right.
It's not. It's like Howard Johnson.
Oh, it's more than 200 if it's character
get
dining.
The tip and everything.
It's like 280 or something. It's like $60 a person.
Oh God! Happy birthday again, AL. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. We don't do live streams very often. Check out Clownfish Animation. We're gonna be putting content over there, and check out Clownfish TV
Gaming. And here comes Charlie, because he heard us. He must understand what we're saying.
Yeah, he's like,
hey,
oh,
Charlie,
it's time to go.
You say bye to everybody.
Oh, Andrew Dale, has Geeky gotten the nail gun yet?
I did.
She did.
Papa Sparkles and Mama Sparkles bought me one.
Yes, she's got her nail gun, so she's ready to go. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Bye.